Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking and discussing what is going to be happening in 2025. What are the energies? Are we going to see anything in the future? Like what we're going to get? I'm going into this blind. I don't know what we're going to be expecting from this video, but we're just going to go in and kind of see what Spirit says. Now, this is going to be a video not based on your question that you have asked me, because I have those actually in my phone right now. Those questions will be done in a separate video, or it might be part of this video. So don't go anywhere. The thing is, if the video is too long, I'm going to break it. But if the video is short, I might include them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I want to read fluently and independently from the question, because the questions you guys are asking are more politically based. But I want to kind of understand what may happen in the healthcare sector, what may happen in the science sector, what may happen in your daily lives, what's going to happen in the country overall, stuff like that. I want to kind of touch upon those topics before we start to go into the heavy, more specific stuff. Because once you start to go into that, your brain and your intuition is stuck in that, and you can only read the cards in that specific way for that specific day. So I want to be able to be clean. I want to be able to do this one first. Then I'm going to move into the second part of that section. If the other video is not done, I will put that in the description below, where you can watch the second part of this video if there was a second part, or I will timestamp when the subscriber questions start or begin. So everything is all going to be in the timestamp and in the description below. So anyway, this video in particular is being recorded on New Year's Eve. So happy New Year's Eve to all of you guys who are watching. This is being recorded on Tuesday, December 31st at 1:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For a quick question that all of you guys don't ask while I'm in the bathroom recording, because I have two puppies in the basement. You know how puppies are when you're doing tarot card readings or anything and they're in a cage. They're going to keep barking and they're going to throw off my energy. That's why I'm in the cage. And it's at midnight because it's the only area in the house that has privacy. So all your questions answered in that regard. If you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and engage with the content. The more you engage with the content, the more you will be able to see my videos and other tarot readers and psychics like me. And also, you'll also be seeing other videos from astrologers as well. So engage. Whether you're liking, whether you're subscribing, whether you're commenting, engage with the content in some form or some formality, and you will be able to see a lot more, not only from me, but also from others as well. So engage, engage, engage. I thank you all for those of you guys who are actively participating. Don't forget, I do see you, I hear you, and I will be responding to you hopefully later on today, because I am off today, so I will be able to have more luxury to respond to you. Anyway, we're going to start this video. I do want to say, if you have not already, follow my Blue Sky account on Blue Sky and my Facebook group, so you can be notified when I upload next. Plus, you will be able to have a direct line or connection to me. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and do that right now. Everything will be in the description. Let's begin. I'm not wasting your time. This is too long of an intro, even for me. I have a very short attention span. So let's just begin. This video is for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only, and everything in this video is alleged. Let's do it. Okay, so before we do begin, actually, you know what? We'll do that towards the end of the video. I'm not going to tell you what my channel was because I feel like, it's going to ruin the energy. So let's just go into this blind and see what happens. Okay, Spirit and Angel, what card? I'm seeing pictures here. Okay, so I'm getting like pictures and images of things that we need to focus on. So that is exactly what we are going to focus on right now. So I'm getting a tarot card deck with pictures, but a lot of the pictures on the tarot deck have pictures on it. So can you be a little bit more specific, Spirit? This one or this one? Okay, they're both in my hand. Okay, so tell me to use this one. So we're going to use this specific tarot deck. I'll be entering officially into the age of Aquarius, so 2025 is definitely going to be the year of change. And I think I have to feel like I have to say this. For some of you guys, because a lot of you guys are in a state of fear, and a lot of you guys live in fear. I see a lot of your comments. A lot of your comments, some of you guys are very prepared, very active, very engaged, and looking forward to the next year. Some of you guys are not so much. A lot of you guys are fearful. A lot of you guys are scared. And rightfully so. But you have a choice here. You could choose to be in a state of fear, allow the energy to fester, and be unprepared and unable to take the challenges head on. Not only is it going to affect you in your public life, but it's also going to affect you in your personal life and in your daily life as well. So choose to challenge, choose to go forward with bravery, and choose to be prepared. Because when you decide to be prepared, you're going to be faced with challenges, and you're going to be able to go at them with smooth and ease. If you go in with a state of fear, you're unprepared. You're too busy thinking and worrying about what the next person's doing, and you're not even doing anything to ask yourself, what are you doing? You need to ask yourself in this next year, what are you doing? What are you going to do to be prepared for yourself for any outcome or scenario that may come your way? Outcome in terms of challenges. What are you in particular going to do? That's what's important. I want you to let me know in the comment section below, how are you going to be prepared next year? What are you doing to be prepared? And how are you going to maintain that? And how are you going to meet the challenges of the moment when the challenges call for you to meet it? How are you going to focus on that? Because a lot of you guys are struggling with that, whether that comes to politics, whether that comes to the new president, whatever it is that you see in your third eye or you're getting pictures of, whatever you're thinking, that is what you need to focus on. That is your challenge going into 2025. That is your challenge, right? The age of Aquarius here talks about the mental, the structural aspect of life. That means the home. It talks about the government. It talks about the politics, but it also talks about what they call the stability, the structure of things. So like the old way of doing things. Things are going to change. Things that have worked for you for decades, for years, will start to change. Those things that you used to do don't work anymore because the structure is going to collapse. So I want you to ask yourself, what can I do that when the structure collapses for me, what can I do to be prepared, or what other new methods could I put forward? Think about that. Think about that, right? Obviously, this YouTube channel is all about truth and valor, but eventually the structure is going to fall because of the age of Aquarius. It's all about technology. How can we, as a family, as a group of people on the channel, move forward? How can we meet the challenge of the moment? Well, there are plenty of things that we can do. And we're all going to discuss that and talk about that. I think we're going to need to have a sit down, have a talk. I think personally, I need to be able to take a look at some things that I could do differently so that you guys can better learn. But that's the problem with 2025. That is not my problem right now. But um, one of my issues is start talking, start doing the reading. So that is going to be one of the things that I got to do. Stop talking, keep going. But I just want to let you guys know that that's a message that I got for you. So if it resonated with you, it's for you. All right, let's do this. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about 2025. What can we expect to come out of the year 2025 with the age of Aquarius? What can we expect to come out of 2025? Now, this is my own homemade tarot deck. Now, there's a lot of things in politically that's very moving parts, but I just see some other things as well. Potentially, like I talked about the economy back then and how the economy is not supposed to crash. Well, I did talk about the economy crash. I meant what the housing market is not supposed to, but it can due to manipulation. So Spirit Angels, tell me, what can we expect out of 2025? What is the story of 2025? We only have less than 24 hours until then. Okay. And they're telling me use right away. Oops. They're telling me use the right away tarot deck for the next part of this reading. So I guess that's what we're going to pull next. That's the problem when you make tarot decks. They're very slippery. Right? It's very slimy. What's the bottom of the deck here? Great Depression, unemployment, unstable economy, corporate greed. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We have been experiencing that for quite some time now, since 2020. It would be no shocker that that is something that we're going to experience more so in Aquarius, and a lot of that explosion of that. Now, again, all you guys are gonna be, oh my God, you're being a fear monger. No, I'm not being a fear monger. I'm being prepared. You should be prepared. Okay, being prepared is the best medicine you can do when it comes to anxiety. That's the best medication, right? Listen, do you think any of us want to be in fear? No. So don't be in fear. Be in a state of preparedness. Be brave. Fight the challenges head on. Right? Nothing comes easy. If it comes easy, that should be suspicious. Right? What else we are saying? Tell me more about 2025. What can we expect? What are the main themes going into 2025? Now, I feel like this might be global, but I have a feeling it might not be. So let's take a look. Is there any other cards that you would like to tell us? Okay, they're telling me we have all the cards we need. And we have here Aces of Swords. So the Ace of Swords in particular for me means the removal of something, a change in structure, a change in leadership, a change in ideology. So that's what we're going to experience into the age of 2025. Is that a lot of government around the world, the structural systems itself would shift. Whether that is in the healthcare industry, whether that is in the policies of things, whether that is in schools, universities, economy, people's perspective are about to shift. And that is the change that is coming. The old way of doing things will come to an end. That is what the Aquarius energy is going to be known for. This is it's going to be the energies and the main themes that we're going to be expecting over the next 20 years with under the Aquarius rule. These are the themes, not only for this coming year, but also the energies and the themes that we're going to expect continuously to come about over the next 20 years as well. So this is not just going to be a one year thing. This is going to be a long term thing. We have here the Page of Pentacles, right? The Page of Pentacles, opportunity. But it's also telling me here that even though it's all about opportunity here, it's also talking about hope. It's talking about the dream that one day you can find financial stability. That is the dream of this energy here. Aquarius is all about financial, but it's also talking about the dream that you can make it big one day. The content creators, right? Influencers. This could be a social media, TikTok, things like that. Social media is the age of TikTok, getting big, fast, and quick. Finding the right moment and hoping the moment chooses you. That is what the whole thing is all about. Yeah, I talk about the financial. For some people, it's all about finances. For other people, it's all about the opportunity. It's all about finding the right moment and hoping that you yourself will find the right time and the right moment. The moment chooses you to go viral. The moment chooses you to go ahead. Right? This also means as well as technology, right? Us looking at technology in a way that's like we look at it as a baby. Like we look at it as like, ooh, look at this shiny cute little thing. That is how people are seeing the Page of Pentacles. Over the next 20 years, we're going to expect a high rise in AI, technology, stuff like that, robots. This is a shiny new thing that's going into Aquarius. This is going to make, what the 1960s looked like, right? We went from a low point of like having low technology to high fast turnaround to almost having TVs and all those things. A very short time span changed decades, changes the way a generational thinks. Now, 20 years is more of a generation, right? So this theme is going to be going onwards for a generation. A huge generation will just be born only knowing the Aquarius energy, not the energy of Capricorn. Now, we do have here is being challenged here by the swing state to decide, which means that there will be some sort of opposing views. There will be some sort of opposing views. And, again, the lover card come here, the LGBTQ card coming here. And we have LGBTQ rights showed up again towards the end of this reading. So there is particular energy revolving around not only the LGBT, but it's also talked about diversity, talked about challenges to diversity, whether or not you are going to rise to the occasion to fight for your own rights, fight not only for your rights, but also fight for diversity, the right to be able to think freely and fairly. That's why the fist is coming up here, because the fist is like standing up. So the Ace of Aquarius is going to be all about protest. The people take their power. And that is why that fist is coming up here, because it's all about the people energy, right? That is the next 20 years of Aquarius, but also the main themes that we're going to start to see play out in 2025. So definitely expect more about we the people. I'm also seeing maybe possibly breakup of countries. I'm seeing particularly related to England. So maybe there might be a possible break, or there might be a change in government. Something changes in England. I know that for sort of change coming to the leadership or position. I'm also seeing potentially it could indicate the monarchy. So maybe possibly King Charles passes away and it goes to King William. But there seemed to be a scandal there, so possibly it might go female. So whoever the next one in line is. Actually, I don't know who the next one is in line. Actually, let's take a look at that because I'm really curious to see who the next line in the throne for England. Um, Next in line for the throne, UK. Oh yeah, okay. So it's Prince William, then it's Princess Charlotte. Oh, Prince Jordan and Princess Charlotte. Interesting. So there's a boy, boy, girl. But the energy of Prince George in particular is more of the like the feminine. So he represents more the feminine Aquarius energy. So he's going to play a major role here. So we might see some more movement out of Prince George. So potentially this might be him leveling up to the heir, the next one to the throne, and that William now takes over after Charles, and then George, little Georgie, gets the new spotlight, and he might feel pressure, but he represents the people. He kind of gives the energy of Diana a little bit. So I wonder if like he's gonna start doing things that would be more related to what his grandmother did. Yeah, his grandma did. And so that could be what that could be indicating as well. So there's something going on with the monarchy in particular, particularly revolving around England. It might not even be the monarchy. It might just be like what's it called? Like I said, there might be just a change in leadership or a break up the country in some capacity. We do have older voters. We have boomers and post World II generations, and it's reversed when it comes to realtor industry. So a lot of the older people who are currently working right now in like minimum wage jobs and stuff like that just to get by because Social Security has been drained out by politicians. Um, I've been feeling for a little bit, and particularly in this reading, that the older voters are indicating that the retail jobs in which they work right now, they're going to be squeezed out. So because they're going to be squeezed out, they're going to be replaced by AI. They're going to be replaced by robots. So potentially expect more activity revolving around self checkout. I'm also seeing robots now because people are backlashing against self checkout. Instead, they're going to put in a robot that looked and feels and acts similar to what do you call it? To like the likes of a cashier. But it's all robotic. It's not an actual real cashier, but it gives the impression of an actual socialization that you would normally experience at an actual cash register. But there's a failure there. A lot of those robots and stuff like that, they're unable and ill-equipped to feel empathy and be able to have thoughts. So just say they messed up an order and they put you in return and said you're buying something. Now you have to wait for somebody who might not even be even in the building to come and try to fix the robot just so you can return something. It's going to piss a whole lot of people off and it's not going to go well. So we're going to start to see artificial intelligence and robots. We're going to start to see the dark side of it as well. For a while we saw the positive aspect of technology, whether that's the internet, whether that is blue sky, Twitter, all those things. We saw all the positives of those. Now, because of the 2024 election and everything before that, we're going to start to see the negatives. Right? We're going to start to see the negative and the positive simultaneously together, but it's going to be more of like a moral aspect. Okay, what are we seeing long term? And the long term aspect is saying that, okay, there can be some positive to all this, but there's always going to be drawbacks. Nothing in life is ever going to be 100% positive, 100% negative. There's always going to be a mix of both, right? For a while, we got a lot more positive, and then we're starting to see since 2015, it's starting to turn toward the negative. But now that we enter Aquarius officially, expect that energy to ramp up a lot more. Now, again, like I said, never be in a state of fear, be always prepared. That's all that I say. That's the best thing. That's the best medicine that you can do, right? Never be in a state of fear. I'm not even fearful. If I was fearful, you will feel it. If you tap into my energy, you can definitely tell you right now, I'm not scared one bit. And I hope you are not too. Just be prepared, right? Just be open to what comes. Because when you're open to what comes, like think about it this way. If you're in a tornado, right, and a tornado is coming towards you, and you're conscious and you're thinking about the tornado's going to hit me, the tornado's going to hurt me. When that tornado strikes, you're going to be in the tornado swinging around and you're going to hit a lot of things. Things are going to hit you and you're going to end up with injury. But just say you drink a bottle of Jack Daniel before and you're like, hey, listen, the tornado coming. I'm going to drink because I know that if I drink and I'm unconscious and I'm not thinking about that tornado, it has less damage, has less power to hurt me. And therefore, when the tornado takes me and I'm hitting things, I don't sustain any damage because I'm not resistant to the damage. So therefore, I don't take as much damage as I would have taken if I was subconsciously aware. So what is it telling you here? It's telling you from the spiritual sense that it's okay to allow damage to happen. Because the less you think about something in a fearful state, the less likely it can hurt you. Right? So just be careful of your mindset, is all that I'm asking. Because under here we have the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is talking about build, but it's also talking about build regarding around I'm hearing amnesty. I don't know what that is, but amnesty. So maybe it has to do with immigration, I'm assuming. Maybe well, I'm only thinking that because that's like the common word that I hear regarding about amnesty, like dreamers and stuff. Oh, that's interesting. We talked about a dream earlier. Um, so there might be some issues revolving around immigration, right? There might be America exit. Like a lot of people are going to start to leave the United States because they don't really feel happy or they don't feel like they belong anymore, right? That's a thing that we're going to start to see. But this also means this is a global thing. This is not just American thing, right? I talked about this being the global scale. With the main theme, shift in pattern, shift in immigration. People go where they feel like they are welcome or they belong. So expect country to become more radical. So for example, one country may think one way, but the other opposition party will start losing support and will go to another party or another country where they feel welcome with those who share the same ideology. So for example, think of it like this way. We have a grandparent, right? And they're conservative. But in the area in which they live in a liberal town, right? But they don't feel welcome because they feel like the outcasts because they're conservative, but everybody around them is liberal. So they want to be able to find a place where they can call home and feel comfortable to express their conservative views. So they're going to move to a conservative area. And as we start to see those shifts, you start to see it become more polarized. People are less exposed to different ideas and different opinion, and they're thinking that the world around them, everybody agrees with them because, well, the town in which they live in, well, everybody agrees, right? So it's interesting to see that dynamic not only play within the United States, but also on a global scale. So that is what we're going to be seeing in the next 20 years, is starting to see the divide become polarized. People start to become disinformed, easily misinformed, right? We're going to start to see that. Even though with technology, with misinformation, people are also going to become depolarized as well. Because think about it this way, the algorithm, the what you think, what you watch is what you're going to see, right? The more you think and interact with that content, the more you're going to see it, right? That's how the algorithm works. It's the same with that concept because algorithm is going to start showing you what you believe, not what you need to hear, but what you believe internally. And therefore, a lot of those people are going to be prone. So these are going to be some of the dark stuff of technology and AI and people not willing to hear each other out. So we're going to start to see some sort of division among the population and polar opposite ideas. So there might be a polar crash. There might be, so far of a disagreement that maybe countries will start fighting with one another because, well, first of all, they're going to change on ideas. So, for example, Germany becomes more nationalistic, they become more far right, right? And all the people who were left leaning or centrist, they may leave the country and go to a neighboring country like France, and France becomes more liberal. And that a lot of the people in the country there love the liberal ideas, and so they start fighting because, well, first of all, you have my people there. I'm gonna go take your land because it's my land now. It's like a whole bunch of things. So definitely expect war to become taken out because people are moving drastically in high quantities and numbers, not only within the United States but also in other countries as well. So there will be pop-up of wars, and um, the idea of going back and question land and land masses. So I do see that. I'm also seeing extraterrestrials here for the King of Pentacles. Um, Over the next 20 years, we're going to start to see information revolving around extraterrestrials and genes. So I'm seeing genes. So I wonder if this has to do with the technology in the genome. So particularly the chromosomes and the DNA and cloning. So I do see like there's going to be advancement in medical science and medical science and science in general. I just feel like we are going to be able to clone, but we're going to be able to clone so much that it's going to be ridiculous. A lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, again, I can't believe they're bringing this thing back. Um, I feel like, in a way, or some fashion, I feel like they're actually going to be starting to do initiative. You guys we don't know about this, but it feels like in a way that there is like politicians or leaders who, or even celebrities or stuff like that, are going to start saving their genomes and DNA, and hoping that one day when they're cloning it, they're going to clone them, and that they're going to come back from the dead. So I do feel like that is the energy and oil here coming out of the King of Pentacles, because I'm getting not only scientific advancement, but also medical advancement. I'm also getting and seeing that there's going to be efforts by people in position of power with higher wealth. They're going to try to hold on to power by trying to clone themselves or even entering into a phase of cryonic and trying to freeze themselves so that they can be entered into a world in which what's it called, living forever is a plausibility, not an impossibility. So I feel like that is something that coming out of the King of Pentacles here. But when it going back to the extraterrestrials, I'm seeing like there will be contact at some point. I don't know exactly in 2025, but over the next 20 years, excuse me, I definitely do see contact, and I definitely see there is a form of diplomacy. I do see that there is a form of diplomacy with this extraterrestrial. However, may be an intergalactic war that may take place, but it's not involving the world. So the global Earth, planet Earth, really. Um, I don't feel like it is involved, but rather we start to hear information revolving around intergalactic wars that have been taking place over the centuries, and we start to understand some of the history that we haven't been experiencing here on the planet, and why we kept seeing some of the UFOs for so long and as much as we did, because in essence, also in hindsight, it tells the bigger story, it tells the bigger player here, but at some point, it looks like to me that the government's not going to be able to hold on to this energy, hold on to the truth any longer. I think they're going to have to reveal it, because I do see a castle in the background. The castle means that they are becoming more Americanized or more nationalized citizens. So meaning that for a while now, a lot of these extraterrestrials are actually Earth citizens, which means that they have been born here in the country in the United States, but also globally. So they've been born on Earth, not on other planets. So it feels like to me that they are going to be more loyal to Earth. And I feel like that is the way that they feel most comfortable expressing. Say, hey, listen, this might be an extraterrestrial, but they were born here. They're loyal to this because this is their home. I feel like that is the energy that they're hoping to go with. Because it kind of lessen the blow and say, oh, extraterrestrials are real. And they're not from other planets. They were born here, that kind of energy, what it feels like. I don't know if that means metaphorically it might be. Um, we'll see. We'll have to see what that entails entirely, because it starts to feel more like Star Wars. And I don't know any about Star Wars. Um, this also means victory. So this is number 6, 6 to 1 reversed. It means victory, but for me it's not meaning victory. It's meaning something else entirely. And it just feels like there's a reversal. Things are going back. So some countries, some people are going backwards, like in terms of mindset. So I wonder if that means like people are go reversing in terms of technology. So technology also goes backward. Even though technology goes forward, it also goes backward. So that could mean like maybe possibly like technology takes a new form, for example. So for example, we always had a piano, right? We always had a piano, but now it became electric. It's the same invention, just modernized, right? So we could possibly see technology start to get more modernized, but it's the same technology, same invention. It hasn't really changed much, except it met the time, it met the moment in which it was needed to meet. And it feels like that is kind of like the energy that we're going to be expecting. So things that were done in the past are going to be modernized. Potentially, this means in form of government, or that means in all lives, your personal life, your daily life. This might mean healthcare, might mean the economy, the way you view certain things that have been done in the past need to meet the moment of the future. That's what I've been saying earlier in the video. It feels like, again, you need to be able to meet the moment of the future, not from the past, but the thing that you used to do in the past will no longer become reliable anymore. That's what I feel like. So these are common themes that we can expect over the next 20 years in the age of Aquarius, and this is starting in less than 24 hours. So that is some good positive energy. I don't really see any negative energy here, except maybe some slight things. But again, you can choose how you want to view this. That is entirely up to you. I won't tell you how to view this, but for me, I see this as a win. For you, you might see this as a loss, but that is entirely up to your own perspective. And I feel like change is always a good thing. Regardless whether it's for good or bad, change is always good because that allows new ideas, new fresh things to come into play. Because if you prevent change, something else that's worse will take its place. You'd rather take something that you know and familiar with rather than take something that you're unfamiliar with and don't know what the outcomes or possibilities that could be and what may entail from it. So that is the energies here. Let me see regarding the economy now. Let's take a look at the economy. Let's see how the economy is doing in 2025. I feel like this might be a reading not only for the United States but also on a global scale. So it might be for both. We'll see. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me about how the economy is doing in the United States. How is the U.S. economy doing in the United States in 2025? Okay, how is the economy doing in the stock market for the United States in 2025? Okay, how is the economy doing with the American people? Okay, there's a lot of parts for that. So this is the American people here. Interesting. So this is how the country is doing. These are the people in the top percentage. And then this is how the American people are being approached. I don't know what that was. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles card here is indicating wealth and good fortune. I said I kept getting the fortune card for the United States for quite some time here. We're talking about the economy in particular. This is the type of card that you will want for the economy. It means that there's opportunity here, but there is a birdie. There's a birdie here. What does this card mean? It could mean multiple different things. The economy means that, okay, the economy could get the false appearance that the economy is doing really good because the majority of the money is in the people who control the economy. Therefore, it gives this false narrative, oh, the economy is doing well. But the economy might not actually be doing well. It might just be the false illusion that the economy is doing well because people in high position of power who are not being paying taxes represent a large portion of the economy. Therefore, they are able to influence that economy because, well, one, they own it. That's why the fortune card comes up. It's followed by here, we're talking about the stock market. We have the King of Pentacles here. The King of Pentacles, when it's upright, it means that the thing that had success, that they were able to hold on, is able to win. So whatever the current trends are as of today, as of today's stock market, when it opens today, I don't know what it is because it has not opened yet. But whenever the stock market opens, whatever the opening thing was, is what that we can expect going forward into 2025. So this is the King of Pentacles reverse. So if you want to tell me what that is, what that resulted, in the comment section below when the stock market does open or Wall Street opens. Comment that in the description below. That is the economy. That's the overall expectation for the U.S. stock market going into 2025, and that's the most common theme. Of course, it's going to go up and down, but what happened when it opened today will be the expectation going into 2025. So the King of Pentacles is reversed. It feels like to me that the economy will go down quite a bit in terms of the stock market, and people who have stock in areas where they are, investing in companies that aren't reliable anymore, are unable to produce income, and therefore people are going to stuff in the stock market. Under here in the economy here, though, we have, the rich holding on to all the money. It's followed by here the Knight of Pentacles. Again, this is all about the economy. It's interesting how the Pentacles cards only come up here. We have here the Knight of Pentacles. We're asking, like, how would the American people deal with the economy in 2025? We have stagnant wages. This person only has one pentacle. The person above them has 9. Together they make 10 pentacles. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10. 10 pentacles together. Right? They have the pentacle. The people have the pentacle. They only represent 10% of the economy, while the rich and the wealthy represent 90% of the economy. So how the American people are going to be doing? they're going to be stagnant. They're not going to be moving. So if you're thinking that, oh, Donald Trump is in office or the Republicans are in office, life is going to be better, it's not. It's going to be stagnant. You're not moving. You're not moving. Seriously, I'm sorry, you're not moving. And you have here what is underneath the King of Pentacles. We have here again the stock market. It just goes down, not only for those who are rich and wealthy. The stock market cannot be manipulated, and neither for people. And that's why the King of Wands here is also reversed. It cannot be manipulated in a way that it could be manipulated for the economy. The economy can be manipulated, but not the stock market. The stock market is going to tank in some capacity. So there's some sort of tanking here. And it also has to do revolving around the let go of Trump and Vance. So something there, it revolves around a tanking. We have here there's agreement between people in positions of power and government and corruption handing money, so nefarious act, which is why we have this little like red angel with a line in the center, which is the Leo card. That is telling me that there's around a time of Leo, which might be around August, might be the revelation of dirty laundry. Is what I'm hearing, dirty laundry, like something that is behind the scenes, but it had to do with money. And here the American people lost. They lose in that. So whatever agreement that happened in August, there's a loss here coming for the American people. Let me see what that what dirty laundry means. I never heard of that before. What is dirty laundry? Laundry. Slang. So if I let's look up dirty laundry, it's gonna give me the definition of dirty laundry. I want to look for the slang term of it. It means personal matters that are embarrassing or unpleasant and that one would prefer to keep private. It says here the company is trying to keep its dirty laundry from being aired or washed in public. Let's not air out our dirty laundry or discuss our problem, make our problems known in public. Some accuse him of airing dirty laundry in public. So it means they're basically like secrets or private matters that are unpleasant or bad. Often one does someone make public instead of keeping them private. Someone accused him of airing dirty laundry in public. So it's basically revealing of secrets and revelation and the transfer of money in some way. That there might be a pull off here, and it is a negative turnaround for the American people. So there is a transfer of wealth here. However, around this point in time after the revelation here, we start to see a change in the shift in the rich people, right? The top percentage. We have here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 of wands here, which means they're barely scraping by. But by this point in time, the American people had had enough, which is why it is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords upright means the end of something, a political end, an end in the mindset of the thing that's going on. We talked about here around the midpoint of 2025, we can now expect the United States and the United States economy, but it also means globally as well that we're going to start to see a shift around the midpoint of next year. We're going to start to see it. The people start to realize the things that we used to do here don't work for us anymore. There will be a change in mindset. What did that make change in mindset going to do? Well, these people in position of power are going to have to either choose to leave the position, whether they're going to leave the percentage and join the 99%, or if they're going to stay at the top 1%. But I'm seeing particularly is relating to the top 10%, more so in particular. So it feels like to me that there is going to be a shift by the people that forces these people out, or that they are going to be taxed into a phase where they fall into the 99% threshold or the 90% threshold. We have here, there will be a raining down or something. There will be a hardship, so there will be a retaliation. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of swords, right? And behind the background here, we have 8 of wands here. And before, right, we talked about the scandal being aired out, dirty laundry. Then we have here, we have the scandal and these people in position of power using it to abuse the people. We have 8 wands in the background, one being held by this individual. You start to see that here, but the 8 of wands is being represented here, which means the background here has been thrown here. So what they're going to do is essentially they're going to blame the people for the thing that they did. That's why it goes down here, because it's uprooted from the ground, from the background here, which means it's stabilized in the ground, right? It's stabilized. It's in the ground. right? It's stable. But in this picture here, it's unstable and it gets thrown at them. And it's not going to land on the floor because it's on an angle. So when a stick hits the angle and it doesn't have a right velocity or force, it's not going to be able to go into the soil in the same manner. It might just bounce off and lay flat, or it might fall over, whatever. But it's not going to go in, and especially if the ground is not smooth. So if it didn't rain the day before, and the stick runs in at a certain velocity, it's not going to go in all the way, or it has some sort of resistance against it. We do have here, though, we do have the Page of Cups here. The opportunity, I think the people are full, but the opportunity, it has been lost for these people, and there will be a shift in mindset. However, the generational wealth has ended, which means I feel like there might be a new way of creating wealth, but it's not going to be through the death of generations. So, for example, it's talking about more so like grandparents, right? A lot of people who have grandparents are expecting some sort of inheritance. It's saying here for those people in terms of the age of Aquarius and over the next 20 years, but also revolving around the economy, not only in the United States, but also globally. When those people die, there will be very little to no inheritance at all. So there won't be a transfer of money because these people robbed the inheritance from you. They robbed the inheritance from the people. That's the transfer of wealth. That's where the money came from. Right? We have here the Five of Swords reversed, which means they're not willing to let that go. But because no one's willing to fight them, that's why they're not willing to let it go. And we have here the Queen of Pentacles. For the 2025, though, the economy and the people and the stock market, it's telling me here in general, that on a general basis, that the people just give up. They give up. They're not even fighting. I don't even see any movement here. There will be some blaming, but it'll be blamed on the people. So people are upset about them, but then they believe the things that they are doing, they just give up. They're like, they lose hope, like there's nothing they can do. But really, that's not really the mindset here. That's not exactly how you're supposed to be thinking. That's not how you're supposed to be doing, right? The Age of Aquarius means fighting back, right? We have here the King of Cups, right? Being calm against the chaos, right? The people in position of power right now are able to stay afloat amidst the chaos, right? I talked about this before. Luigi is not an outlier. He is going to be a representation of what we're going to expect from the Age of Aquarius. He is the start of Robin Hood. Like we talked about Peter Pan and Robin Hood. He is the start of that. That is the energy going into 2025. This is no different here, right? The people feel robbed by the people on the top. And it's just going to be further emphasized with the dirty laundry that's going to get aired out. It gets blamed on the people. The people feel helpless because all their inheritance and money has gone to these people, and that they feel like they have nothing to lose. We all know how that story goes, right? I shouldn't have to explain that story. We all know how that story is going to go, right? So that is the stock market and the economy. That is the energy and aura not only on the United States, but also on a global scale as well. So that's what I see. We're going to take a look and see the health and look at health. I do see like there was energy towards a possible pandemic or a possible epidemic. I don't see lockdown in particular, but we're going to take a look. I did say in my other videos in the past on my YouTube channel that I do see at least there was an outcome where there were going to be at least 2 more pandemics within our lifetime. And it might not be in some people's lifetime, but it's going to be a majority of our lifetimes. So I did see that. We'll take a look. I did do a video a long time ago on the bird flu, so if the bird flu popped up in this reading, then we know it's indicating the bird flu. But I'm getting it's not. There's a no virus here. It's definitely a virus. Norovirus. I don't know if that's a thing yet. Norovirus. That's what I'm hearing. It starts with an N, and it has the word virus at the end. Let me see. Norovirus. I hope this is how I spell it. Oh yeah, so that is a thing actually. The norovirus is also known as Norwalk virus. And sometimes referred to as the winter vomiting disease. It is most commonly caused by gastritis. An infection is characterized as non-bloody diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach pain. Fever or headache may also occur. Symptoms usually develop 12 to 48 hours after being exposed, and recovery typically occurs within 1 to 3 days. Complications are uncommon but may include dehydration, especially in the young, old, and those with health problems. So I feel like this might be really talking about here with the norovirus. Oh, look, there's an outbreak here. It says here, norovirus outbreak of rising nationwide, CDC sites. So, okay, so I guess that might be indicator that, we're going to see more of that rising in 2025. Um, what's the odds of that? But I don't think that it's going to be a pandemic, like I said. I just feel like it's going to be exposing the extreme lack of health in a lot of Americans because the norovirus, based on what I've seen in the description when I read it here, it feels like to me it's going to be exposing those who have autoimmune disease and how widespread autoimmune disease really is in the United States and how it could have been prevented if certain precautions were taking place when the baby was a child, um, when the baby was when people were actually children. That's what I meant to say. The way I worded that, it made no sense. All right, so Spiritual Angel, tell me about the health of the United States, but also globally. What can we expect in the year 2025? The energies and things that are going to be expecting in 2025 revolving around health. Okay, so we have a challenge here. What else? Okay, there's another challenge here. This is also revolving around not only the United States, but also globally. So tell me the ones on the right here are global. What is the thing that's representing it mean for all of us? It feels like I'm seeing hazmat, like a hazmat suit, but I feel like for some people it means coming out of a lack of health, a lack of health. That's what I'm hearing. I'm seeing hazmat, but lack of health. Like a lot of us are coming out of that phase of inability or inaccessibility to health. So we have here in the United States here, I'm actually here and I should be moving into the global aspect first to understand what happened in the United States. So we're going to do that first. I do apologize. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Okay, the first card that comes up is Betrayal Reverse. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups reverse, the Three of Swords reverse. We have the middle of the reading that clarifies everything, which is the Ace of Cups upright, followed by the King Cup on the left side, and we have Loss on the right. So, what does this mean, Spirit? So they're telling me that there are major changes coming not only to me, not only to you guys, but also to the world on a global phase. What does this also mean as well? So they're telling me that something new will come in the form of health. So they're telling me the world in which we see now is not the world in which we see then. They're telling me it'd be like 2020, but much, much worse. Again, like I said, don't be in a state of fear, right? Be prepared, that's all I'm saying. And these are not my words, this is what I'm hearing. So it's telling me here it's not going to be like lockdown, anything like that. They're saying that it's going to be because of neglect by government and healthcare institutions to get things done and fixed prior to things getting worse. So it feels like, to me, it feels like governmental institutions are going to aid in the fact of turning a blind eye to finding a preventative cure before the outbreak or something happens. It feels like they're just going to sit on it and be like, nah, not a problem. You deal with it. Not an issue. I feel like that's the kind of energy and aura that I'm getting. I'm getting that aura. Excuse me. That what's it called? I just almost feel like they don't care. Like, oh no, it requires a vaccine. We're not gonna do vaccinations. We don't do that. You're gonna have to try to fight it. I feel like that is the energy that we're getting here in the global phase. Is that there's a widespread neglect by governments, but also healthcare institutional lack of funding for some of those, and it leads to chaos globally. Right? It means poor countries maybe country can't afford healthcare, and it starts something in the country. This doesn't mean that we're gonna have a pandemic. I don't see that. I just see that there's going to be widespread illness because of neglect by government institution and lack of proper funding. And it's going to indicate to a lot of people, hey, listen, maybe we shouldn't be cutting these funds from these people because it obviously hurts us more than it helps hurt them, right? That's the kind of energy there. Because they're like, oh, well, these people are not going to help us with preventative medicine. So not only do we have to pay for the health care, we also don't get the help we are paying for anyway. That's what it feels like. And I'm also seeing that not only the capitalistic society when it comes to health, but also seeing it as well for those who, um, yeah, like for health, like I said, for health as well. But like for those who just want to be able to do things, like and they have universal healthcare, I feel like in some way there's also neglect there as well. So if you have that universal healthcare in your country, I feel like that is going to also be very highly neglected as well. So don't think you're immune to it just because you have healthcare in your country. I feel like there is some sort of neglect in some capacity. That's what I'm getting out of these 5 cards here. What is the United States healthcare looking like? Oh, it looks like the United States might not be going through anything different than the global phase. Yeah, no. The United States is not. The United States is gonna actually enter into a phase where the rich people will start to have more of a control and more of a state in healthcare. So there's going to be people in position of power who are going to use their wealth to either better the healthcare system or to worsen it. There is a clear idea here that I'm seeing a clear trend that there are monopolistic ideology within the United States right now, with monopolies of controlling aspects of the United States sector that it should not be controlling. I'm also seeing the pharmaceutical companies, big pharma. I'm also seeing as well as influenced by the rich people, but I'm also seeing the bird here. I talked about the bird flu as well. Right, there's a bird here with the 9 pentacles here. So the United States may actually have an outbreak, but it's not going to be a widespread one, but it's going to be quite the outbreak of the bird flu. So I do feel like the bird flu might be more significant going into 2025 in some capacity or some form of it. I don't see the current version of or the current strain of the bird flu being significant, but rather the next 3 strains being more significant, more powerful than the original or the copy. So we do have here as well, we do have darkness going into American healthcare system. So there is going to be some sort of darkness revolving around how healthcare is done in the United States, right? The technological aspect, right? How it benefited the people who were in the top and who were wealthy, who had money, and it's going to be showcased by the bird flu. So the bird flu is actually going to be exposing some of the things that we thought we knew about our healthcare system and the failures of it, and also the successes. You're going to start to realize that, oh, maybe there isn't as much success in this type of program or type of healthcare system that we have than we originally thought or anticipated. So that is what we're getting out of the United States healthcare system. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that, Spirit? So tell me now. So we have here the challenges to both the global but also to the United States. We have the Two of Swords here, which means the blind truth and unable to see where we're going. So in terms of healthcare, it's saying that some people are unable to make the proper choices because either way, you could either choose to be what's it called? You could choose to be alive but being dead, or you could choose to be dead but you could have been helped under normal circumstances. If people were actually able to give you a fighting chance, you would be able to take that fight. I feel like there's a false illusion of choice here because these are 2 choices, right? But this person is being blinded, which means that they're unable to make the correct decision because there's an illusion of choice. Right? But the other choices as well. This woman is sitting down, she thinks that she only had 2 choices. Like she thinks she had 2 choices. But guess what? She can get up and put those stories down. She had 3 choices. She can just get up and leave. She doesn't have to make the choice, but she's making the choice because that's what she grew up knowing that she had to make a decision here. But she really doesn't. And when I'm getting keynote here, and I didn't realize this was in the background. Yeah, I know I'm oblivious, but I didn't know this was in the background with the little islands and water. I'm getting told that. So particularly, it also means that what's it called? A lot of people in position of power, well, not in position of power more so, but people who are higher professionals, like people who um, whether they get paid to do things like doctors and stuff like that. I'm also seeing that a lot of them are going to take vacation time, more vacation than they normally could. So it's means that there's going to be a transfer of wealth. There's going to be agreements between doctors and big pharma, and it's going to benefit the doctors and a lot of people who are in this position right now, who's in this occupation, are going to take up the money, and they're going to be able to go on more lavish trips and stuff like that. And I'm also seeing because they're going on more lavish trips, a lot of people in the United States, but also on a global scale, and unable to have accessible and reliable accessibility to the doctor because the doctor too busy going on vacation instead of actually healing the people like they were supposed to. I feel like there's some sort of bribery here, and it's being used by money by creating a dynamic in which the doctors become unreliable because it almost feels like the people here are setting the doctors up so that people blame the doctors, not the people who are in control of the doctor, which would be big pharma and people with money. We do have here as well, we do have the Seven of Cups here, this false illusion again. This illusion, oh, we have all these insurances, we have all these choices to make, but really it's an illusion. It's not really a choice. You're not merely making a decision on your behalf. The decision has already been made for you because you're going to get denied by insurances. Therefore, they're making a decision for you. Giving that false illusion that healthcare is going to be better for you because, oh, I could pick if I want Empire, if I want, New Mexico healthcare, whatever that insurance is. I made those up. But, it's saying that there's a false sense of illusion, but really there is no false sense of illusion. It's just that you really didn't have a choice. It was already made before you even applied. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that there is going to be, in terms of healthcare, there is going to be some big shifts, big changes, explosion. I feel like this year, particularly in 2025, is all about seeing the darkness of things and being able to understand like what can we do to change it, because in order to change anything you need to see the darkness, right? You cannot see the light all the time and expect there to always be light if you don't know what the darkness is behind it. In order to create change you need to see what's dark so you can fix it, right? You need to see the problems in front of you. So a lot of you guys might be saying, oh well, Chris, you're being in a state of fear. But no, I'm not. I'm not trying to scare you. This has nothing to do with fear mongering, nothing at all. Just being prepared. But also, in order for us to see where we need to go and what we need to do, we need to be prepared. By being prepared, we can be able to see what it is that's important for us to analyze. Like seeing what's in front of us and see what's important so we can be able to handle the situation head on. Right? So that is revolving around the economy. I mean, revolving around the healthcare system. I really do. I do feel like the healthcare system. We're going to go and talk about the technological aspect of technology and seeing what we get there. I was going to do a lot of your questions before the new year. I think I may actually just take a little break after this video because this video is going to be quite long. So there is going to be no subscriber question, but I will be doing a video for you guys potentially the first day of January, hopefully, if I'm not working Friday. Oh my God, today's Tuesday. Oh my God. I thought today was like Sunday or something. Okay, so I guess yeah, I'm working Thursday, so I might not be able to do it tomorrow or make the video, so I will have to do it on January 2nd. No. January 1st I can make the video, most likely. On January 1st I might be able to make the video for you guys and be able to upload it, and you guys will see it on January 2nd. Hopefully that's all okay. Let's go and take a look here. Let's see about artificial intelligence and robots and technology in general. What are we going to see in terms of technology, whether it's scientific, whether that is robots, whether that is AI, whether that's cloning? What are we going to see in 2025 globally in the United States? Okay, so they're telling me there is a disaster coming in the United States revolving around technology. That could be the banning of TikTok, possibly. So keep that in mind. They're telling me to take 3 more cards, so we're going to take 1 more. 3 cards came out, but these are 2 cards that came out this way, so we'll go like that. Okay, let's go and see. I love how they set it up for me because I really don't have to do anything. Okay, we have the Emperor's card reverse. The Empress. Interesting. Because it feels like to me like technology represents the masculine. So this is representing the darkness of AI, the darkness of robots, the darkness of cloning. It's like really like I feel like the tarot cards are playing like devil's advocate at this point. Right? I don't want you guys to hate me of this. Like it just feels too dark for you. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll make another video and be like, okay, what's the good thing coming out of 2025? But I don't really feel like there's a lot of negative here. I just feel like the 2025 is going to be a lot of changes, and I think that's why it appears negative because it's changes that are coming that we need to be able to see, and those changes, the only way to be able to be changed is that they need to be looked at, they need to be exposed, right? So keep that in mind as well. So we're talking about like robots and AI and all that. We have here a lack of strength, the lack of strength here, and I'm hearing manipulation. So it might not be like it feels like to me like the coding and the mechanism within AI and robot, it feels like it could be easily corrupted. And it's not strong enough to be able to withstand human intervention for like a math scientist or a computer hacker or a coder, whatever it is. It feels like in some way or some form, AI, computers, and robots are unable and unable to um, what they call it, be able to stay uncorrupted, really, because I feel like they're in the early phases in 2025, and they're still learning how to use it and all those other things as well. That's why the trend card is reversed. It's followed by the tarot card. So I don't feel like, in a way, technology in terms of like robots, AI, and I'm hearing ChatGPT, stuff like that I talked about. I feel like the tarot card is telling me that they won't really exactly be fully implemented in the year of 2025. It'll be the start of it, but I feel like the trend card is telling me that it's in train, it's in beta. It's in beta right now. It'll be like a soft launch. It feels like there's gonna be a soft launch, which basically means that there's gonna be a few people have it, and there's gonna be beta run, and you'll see influencers having all this type of technology. It'll be beta run, but it wouldn't exactly be globally run. Like people wouldn't be able to have access to buy it, or it'd be way too expensive to buy. Only the people who are wealthy who can afford it will have it, but the people who don't won't. And it's like in beta testing, and that's why the sun card is reversed here, because it can be easily used as a manipulative tool to say, hey, listen, well, I have the new cool shiny thing, you don't, and that makes me better than you, right? It could be like that as well. Now, we followed by the Emperor. What's it about leadership? We're talking about here in terms of influence, someone high position of power, high stakes, right? The tower card falls, but it's reversed here, falls on the leader, right? Because the tower falls down, and who's underneath the tower is going to be the leader, the emperor. So what does this mean? It means that it exposes the darkness and how it's used in government, how it's used in the structural aspect, right? The government here, the leader represents the leadership, the structure of all things, whether that is in real estate, anything that uses AI, robots, anything that is a fully functional structure. So it could be a school system, could be stores, could be anything that is physical, that is inside a building, can and will be corrupted by, in some capacity, by AI. It will not be immune to this. It won't be immune to it. It's followed by here and it's aided by the King of Swords. Again, another incumbency card. So this is talking also not only about politicians and structural governments and governmental buildings, also talking about other aspects as well. And it's going to influence the perspective of the mind, is what I'm hearing. It's going to influence the perspective and the way we think of certain things and how we view certain things. Because under here, the King of Swords, here we have the Queen of Cups, right? We have here the Tower card fold on the Emperor eventually, and this is the incumbency card. This is Vice President Harris. You can read it at that as well, because this is talking about the technological aspect, seeing the darkness of it, right? The positivity as well. The King of Swords is the incumbent. The incumbency is above the Queen of Cups. Eventually, it may fall to her, but it's not going to happen anytime soon until this goes upright. The Tower card needs to happen to the Emperor before the incumbency can be given to the Queen of Cups. But as of right now, the incumbency is right along the side of the Emperor, which means in the future he will be the incumbent, not Harris, right? But you can read that in different ways. Again, like I said, doesn't mean that Harris won't become president. And this is probably the most important time to bring this up because I said that I need to do this, but I didn't do this early in the video because it wouldn't make sense. I'm going to do it now. You can see here when I recorded this. So you can see that this was written down on December 30th, 2024 at 2:58 p.m. And what does it say here? It says at 2:58 p.m. This is the challenge. This is right before I clock into work. It says Hillary, the president who could have been but never was. Harris, the one who should be but not yet. That's the channeling that I got. So you do what you will with that. It means that Hillary would never ever be president. That was always in her destiny to end soul contract. However, Harris has a little bit different. She should be, but she's not at this moment, not yet, at least. And I think it comes up in this video, particularly when it revolves around artificial intelligence, AI, computer robots, and stuff like that. So again, it could also be referring to interference as well, and that could be, again, like I said, the corruption, the corrupted AI, and all those type of things. Technology is not immune to the corruption here. What is the card that is challenging the Queen of Cups, right, above the incumbency? And what is the technology that we have now? So it means new opportunity, new growth, illusion, choices, right? Too many choices, in fact. That's why the Destiny card here is going towards the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is the Liberty card, the meaning of the American dream, right? The choices. So what does this all mean when it comes to technology and everything like that? The woman here represents the Aquarian energy. She represents the true nature of Aquarius by staying calm and just holding the water, holding the fort, right? She's sitting down, she's looking at her cup, she's holding it like a genie bottle, right? She knows the genie's inside, but she's holding it. She's looking at it, but she's holding it. She hasn't made her wish because she doesn't need any wish because she has all that she wants. We have here the Seven of Cups here with the Wheel of Fortune. In due time, the technology will overshadow what she wants. You don't get a say anymore because we're coming in whether you like it or not. You can choose to go with it or you can choose to stay behind. But either way you stay behind, you'll be left behind. Right? That's what it's saying here. And this has to do with the divine. The divine means that the spiritual aspect and the astrological planets and the positions in which they are in says that here eventually we'll get to this point, and the point is a point of no return. The dream has to shift. Your dream and the way you view things, the way you view life will have to shift. It's not going to be the same life in which you went into this year. So what your dreams and things that you're doing now revolving around technology are going to be things that change towards the end of next year. So, going into 2026, right? This again, the question revolving around AI, technology, robots, stuff like that. Now, it's also being challenged in the opposite direction, which means going back to the past, which means the page of one, going back to I'm seeing here the internet boom. So it has to do with something with the internet, the founder of the internet here. And that is also going to be going in the opposite direction, which means that there's something going on with the internet and people reverting back to something. It almost feels like we go backwards, like I said here, like a reinvention of something. But possibly they reinvent the internet or reinvent something revolving around a high connection, a high communication between people. Maybe possibly instead of going on the internet anymore, now you can go on the internet by your robot. You can ask the robot, oh, I kind of like Alexis, right? You can ask her, oh, what's the weather in Google? And she'll tell you. You don't have to go on Google anymore. There's no need for the internet. You can use the internet in your robot. That could be indicating as well. But what is the card that's upright on the right side here? This is the star card. This is the future of the United States, but the future of the global world and the global perspective. We're talking about here that the scientists aren't exactly equal. The more complexities that are facing the scientific community right now revolving around technology, it's not going to be well balanced. There could be a lack of harmonious energy revolving around AI and all those technological advances and scientific energies, there's going to be a lack of moral code and a lack of moral understanding, which makes complete sense because this will be complete new territory in which we have not yet explored, but we will be exploring over the next 20 years. So this will be a continuation of a theme that we saw earlier in today's video. So that is what I'm seeing here in terms of technology. We talked about health. We talked about I think immigration as well. We talked about the structure and government and the fall of government. We talked about that. We talked about healthcare. We just talked about technology. Is there anything else? So to tell me that the only thing that we need to cover left here on this video is natural disasters. So I guess we'll talk about natural disasters and see what I see for the natural disasters, and then I guess we'll end this video. And then I'll pick up um, soon, and I'll do the subscriber questions. So if you want to go submit your questions in the community page, definitely go and do so, because that is where I will be able to see your comments. And if you guys feel like the video is a little bit more on the darker side, let me know in the comment section below. I will make a video a little bit more revolving around the positive aspect of 2025. Again, like I said, I went into this blind, didn't know what I was expecting. This is what happened. This is what I'm reading. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and tell you what you want to hear. I'm just going to tell you what I see and what I'm getting. And again, nothing is ever set in stone. The tarot cards are never wrong, and I've always been saying this to all of you guys. The tarot cards are never wrong. It's the interpreter who's wrong. Sometimes I'm not meant to say certain things because we're not meant to know it, right? So just keep that in mind as well. I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here for anything. I'm just here to just tell you what I see. That's all. Alright, so Spirit Angel, tell me about natural disasters in the United States and also on a global scale. What's going on in Earth in the year 2025? What is going on in the year 2025? What's going on in the year 2025? What is going on in the year 2025? Okay, so we have the Five of Wands. Let's fight in. There's some sort of seems like there's gonna be a struggle of some sort. I'm seeing like division. So possibly the dividing of continents, metaphorically, could be physically, could be a breaking up of continents, maybe something cracked, maybe an earthquake, and there's the clear divine, not divine, but like clear definitive line that has formed, or a lake that has formed that has not been there or has been expanded beyond recognition from its original standing. So we could see something like that as well. There's some sort of um, opening of something. There's something in Earth that is cracking. It looks kind of like the Grand Canyon, but then I see water flowing in. So it could be somewhere by a water source where this flows in and becomes a new river. And we start to understand how Earth works because we're starting to see the shifts, not only on the consciousness level of everybody. This is going into 5D, but not only the shift that we see on a consciousness level, but also on a global phase, right? The Earth has to change in order to create change, right? So it's going to start changing with us. I'm going to start to understand more about Earth and how it operates. We have the King of Wands here. There is some stability here, more of a conservative approach. So in terms of conservative approach, if talking about here, there's going to be some countries that are opting to possibly like doing a decrease in regulation or a lack of regulation in some capacity. So there will be a decrease in regulation. I'm also seeing that there's going to also be some countries that experience stability in terms of their environmental compact because they were able to take preventative measures against possible natural disaster from occurring. So some countries will become immune from acts and agreement and stuff like that. But they had did for like the economy. So not for the economy, they did for their own environment because they did it for the environment. The environment is going to reward them with peace, while other places that did not do that will end up experiencing big problem effects. So that's what I'm getting with the King of Wands here, saying that there's some countries out there who are just, not doing anything, cutting back regulation. They're going to start to see some issues in terms of natural disasters. Those who are engaged in preventative measures, taking more of a conservative approach and more of a conservative aspect and more conservative perspective, will start to see and reap the benefits of Earth rewarding them for basically protecting Earth, right? What is the card that follows in the center? The card that follows here is again the King of Cups. So this is more like the grounding card. This is more like the Earth card. This card also fire. I'm also seeing fire here. But the King of Cups here is talking about water. So there's going to be some big movement in water, particularly to the right side of the globe. So I'm getting shown Europe. So there might be a shift in wind pattern that blows towards your favor. So something going on in Europe, particularly revolving around natural disaster, and it has to do with wind and water. So something big happening there in Europe. Um, I'm hearing what's called the shake-up, and it has to deal with like California. I talked about this a few times on the channel. Eventually, a big one will come, but it feels like it's not going to be this year. Hold on. Do you agree or disagree, Spirit? Okay, so Spirit says very likely, but not possible. They give me a 20% chance of it occurring this year. They're telling me it actually had 21% chance, and they need to see the truth. Okay, what truth is this exactly? They're telling me destruction can be caused by neglect. So they're telling me that there's something that's done with neglect, maybe not viewing and understanding that, oh, this can actually happen. And it's telling me here that there's going to be a form of neglect that takes place. Because the form of neglect is taking place, the eruption becomes stronger than it would have been had preventative measures been taking place. So that's what that is showing me here, the wake up, the big shaking. So I do feel like the shaking may come in California, but I'm seeing the Cascadian fault line, not the San Andreas fault line. So this will be a much smaller earthquake, but it will be significant because it might wake up the big one eventually. So we have the Nine of Wands here, which means injury. And then we have your Judgment, which means, again, like I said, the global. I'm also seeing has to do with water and an iceberg. So possibly something gets triggered by this earthquake, by the Cascadian fault line that triggers Greenland to release some of its land. Well, not release some of its land, but release some of its icebergs. And that's going to cause some issues in the ocean. So, especially expect more sea level to start rising globally even faster at a faster rate because of the shaking that's going to come take place that leads to the breaking off an iceberg and the rise of seawater levels. But then we also see here this person kind of like up to their neck a little bit in water. So I feel like the areas in which, like, if you go into the beach or something, and you remember the water being at your knees or at your feet. Now it's going to be at your knees, or it might be up to your chest. It's going to be pretty close to your face too in some areas as well. So I'm seeing particularly like southern Florida, with the key handles or like whatever you call them, with the Galapagos. No, hold on, that's an island. That's an island off of South Africa. No, South America. Oh my God, you see, I'm really exhausted right now. But I think it's called the Key Point Islands of Florida. I don't know, the Florida Key West. I don't know. You get my point. The point is that that southern region of Florida is going to start seeing high sea level rises. So possibly there's going to be a realignment of borders and stuff like that. And that could be why countries are fighting over land that we talked about earlier, and the disagreement of political activation and how people are moving to certain areas that better fit their own perspective and beliefs. Kind of similar like what you expect with algorithm, and how algorithm only gives you the ideas and things that you interact with, so that you see more content like you believe is to be true rather than content that you need to see. Right? So that could be what this is all indicated here. The four ones here though is gonna be like eventually there will be four big ones. four big events that's going to take place in 2025 revolving around natural disasters. And one of them is going to be earth, water, shaken, so vibration or air. Could be even be a tornado. And then there can be icebergs, so rising sea level as well. So there'll be a couple areas as well. I'm also seeing solar flares. I'm also seeing like um what's those things in the sky? Northern lights. I'm seeing those as well. Particularly, yeah. I'm also seeing Earth tilting its axis about roughly around 10 percentage points towards the right. So it like goes on like this, and some areas are gonna become hotter, so the equator starts to move higher. So yeah, because if the Earth is this way, right, and it moves 10%, right? If hold on, let me just show you here. So let's say the Earth was leading on this angle, right, and it's spinning and spinning on this angle, but it tilts 10%. Right now, the equator has moved up, which means maybe like instead of Florida being near the equator might be like North Carolina. It might be like around like closer to New York, because New York is going to get warmer, Florida is going to get colder. So it's going to feel like that, like there's a shift here and the equator moves. So in some way, the equator is going to move in 2025, particularly towards the end. And because of that dynamic shift in terms of the axis, there might be a possible chance that we might see a polar shift. So the positive and the negative might flip entirely. So we might see a readjustment of the compass. But that's something that's going to be happening. So tell me not exactly, but it's going to be happening over the next couple of years. So we might start to see indicators and trends where it's going to look like it's going to flip. But we don't know when that's going to happen, but it feels like it's going to be happening within the next couple of years, sometime in the early phases of the Aquarius energy. I would say within the first 6 to 7 years. But that's what I'm getting here out of like natural disasters. Is there anything else that we need to see? So tell me no, they said I hit it right on the nail. I got everything I need to do. Is there anything else in this video that I need to put in here that needs to be released on time before the new year? Alright. Love you, namaste. Alright guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, comment section in the book please comment in the comment section below what you think of today's video, what you believe, if you agree or disagree, whether or not you want me to make a part two, maybe make a more positive, kind of ask the guys and the cards what's going to be happening in 2025 in terms of positivity. I think this was a very positive reading. Again, I might be a little biased here because I'm reading from a point of view that is not partisan, but rather from a bird eye perspective. So I don't really have an emotional tie to any of this. I'm just seeing it from a bird eye. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like it's not that I'm inhumane or like I don't have humanity or I don't have empathy. It might just be that the fact that like I'm going into this as prepared. And I'm not going into this expecting a state of fear. I'm open to all that can and will be and may be, right? And so there's that. But don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share this video with other people. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. For those of you guys who are waiting for the subscriber video, go in the community page and comment your questions and I will answer them, hopefully. And I will make a video out soon, and that video will come out probably sometime this week in the new year. Definitely go out and try and look for that video. Anyway, guys, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being with me in the year 2024. And for those of you guys who have been with me from the very beginning, I'm just really grateful for all of you. Thank you for your kindness and love and support. And I'll see you all the next time. See you in the next year. I love you. And Happy New Year to all of you guys. Happy 2025. And don't get to manifest, write out what you want to see for the next couple of years. All right, guys. Love you.